Bundle up. All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield. It was important for him to be 6 feet or over. I think it was 6 feet 3/8 of an inch. Was that good enough in your guys' opinion?
Yeah, it's can he play? That's the thing. I think that 6 foot and over is going to do a lot of things for the confidence in some of the scouts and teams that as they look at him. But it's been done before. You know, the Russell Wilsons, the Drew Brees. I played with Doug Flutie for a year, and I played against him a bunch when he was in Buffalo. Guy just made plays, you know. So I'll say this: these type of players are rare.
Right.
You know, 6 foot, because you would rather have. Here's the truth: you would rather have a 6'4" measurable quarterback that has the long arms, the big hands for ball security. That's what you would like. But this is a different package. I think that the offensive coordinator, he'd have to be on board. He'd have to maybe tweak a couple things in his offense, knowing he has a 6 foot quarterback, but it can be done. Baker Mayfield have shown he can do it in college. We'll see what he can do in the pros.
6 okay with you? Do you have any concerns about a guy that's just at 6 feet?
The thing that people talk about with a short quarterback is you can't throw over your offensive line.
Monsters like you, so it's really your fault. It's your fault.
Yeah, I'll take the blame and maybe some of the credit. But one thing they don't talk about is as a shorter quarterback, a lot of times they have to get deeper in the pocket. You can't stand in there because you just can't see over guys. So that puts added stress on your offensive tackles because now you've got a longer pocket that they have to push the rushers past. And I think of a guy like Derek Anderson, who I played with early on in my career, who's like 6'6", huge wingspan.
Right.
He could sit tight in that pocket, and he would actually put his hands on his guards if they were getting pushed into him, and then he was able to just throw right over the top of them. So he was able to really mitigate a lot of that pass rush because he didn't have to get deep, and if there was a problem, he could just throw right over it.
So if you have a speed rusher and Baker Mayfield is your quarterback, you are anticipating them knowing that he has to have a deeper drop back, so you have to get on your horse, basically.
A lot of times it puts you in a bad position. It puts you off balance as an offensive tackle because now you're doing a 40-yard dash backwards to get that back to that deeper spot.
Is it easier to get beat inside?
It is, but the good thing is, the bright side of having a shorter quarterback that's dropping deeper, if you do get beat inside quick, a lot of times a guy like Baker, he can then flush the pocket.
Shifty.
And now that's the worst place the defense wants him because now it's like Russell Wilson. He's creating with his feet, and a lot of times that gives the receivers more time to get open down the field.
We're making the comparisons to Russell Wilson and Drew Brees because obviously that's the benchmark for shorter quarterbacks, but neither one of them were taken in the first round. Russell was third round. Drew Brees was the start of the second round in 2001. In fact, going back to the AFL-NFL merger of 1970, only 2 quarterbacks have been drafted that measured at 6 feet, not 6'1", not 5'11". Michael Vick, good. Yeah. Johnny Manziel, not so good. So it's a 50-50 hit rate right there on 6 foot quarterbacks in the first round.
There's a lot of these general managers that have that formula. If I take you in the first round at this certain position, you got to check off these certain boxes. Yeah. And if you don't, I can't take the risk. Will someone take a chance?
Yeah, and that's why we see so many sometimes busts in the first round because they go by the measurables, and usually in the second or third round, the guy just makes plays. You know, they look at the tape more as opposed to the measurables when you look past the first round. I mentioned Johnny. Joe, you know this. Drafting a quarterback in the first round, a lot of people think the Browns may do it, hasn't been their strength since you were drafted in 2007. You had Brady Quinn was the second first-round pick that year. Tim Couch, first overall in 1999, before you, obviously. Brandon Weeden in 2012, and Johnny in 2014. Do you feel like they're going to go down the road of drafting a quarterback again in the first round? They got 1 and 4 in the first round.
I get the sense that one of those 2 picks is going to be a quarterback. I don't know who it's going to be, but I would suspect that they want to draft a guy right now and start developing him, even if they do go the route of free agency with Kirk Cousins or they trade for a guy like Alex Smith.
Are you willing to wait for them to develop a quarterback? I mean,
I'm 33. I'm not waiting for anything
it's like,
right now.
Get me a free agent, man.
Well, you know, there was a funny thing that they did with E60 where they tried to make you name all the quarterbacks you played with. There were 19 of them. Your list was much shorter. You know all 4 you played with starting quarterbacks?
Okay.
There are 4.
Started with Bledsoe.
Correct.
Well, Brady's one.
Yeah, can confirm. Brady is one.
Castle's
name that one.
You're missing one.
Zolak.
That's it.
Yes.
Big head Scott Zolak.
I see you,
exactly
Zoe.
Right.
Man, he couldn't get it done, but I love you.
Did you hear his call on the radio of the touchdown? I love Tom Brady. It was the one thing he said after the winning touchdown, which was pretty good. So your list was much longer. We just wanted to see if you could come up with all 4. Congratulations, you both.